Why premium pricing feels normal is rarely accidental. It is the result of a deliberate architecture that dictates how we assign value. We usually enter a transaction assuming a basic law of economic gravity. Consumers seek bargains. When prices drop, demand follows the inverse, and people buy more. This curve represents standard logic. We treat price as a straightforward reflection of raw materials, labor, and basic utility, where a lower entry point leads to higher volume. For almost every everyday transaction, from groceries to gasoline, this logic feels absolute. But because this functional math is so universally accepted, the sectors where it fails represent a structural anomaly in how we perceive worth. In specific industries, traditional market analysis breaks down entirely. If a manufacturer tries to stimulate sales by slashing the price of an item like this, they don't attract more buyers. They destroy the product's appeal. Economist Thorstein Veblen identified this as a positional good, a category of luxury where high pricing actually contradicts the traditional law of demand. For these goods, a high price tag stops being a financial barrier. It becomes the exact reason for the purchase. In these markets, the price isn't a measurement of the underlying cost of production. The price is the product's most valuable feature. This inversion works because of a specific blind spot in human cognition. In a complex market, we rarely have the data to evaluate the true quality of an item before we own it. To bridge that gap, our brains use the price-quality heuristic. We see two identical products, but when one carries a premium tag, we automatically assign it a higher quality metric. This shortcut bypasses analytical evaluation entirely, replacing evidence with an immediate emotional assumption of trust. Brands utilize this signal to justify intangible utility, using price itself to resolve the buyer's uncertainty. When we lack verifiable SACs, our brains actively rely on high costs to signal that a product is superior. This doesn't just happen inside the mind, it scales into the sociological dynamic of signaling theory. Because a high price is difficult to pay, it serves as an unforgeable signal of status to society. This creates social scarcity. As noted here, if a brand becomes too accessible, it loses the snob effect that makes it desirable. This manufactured scarcity triggers loss aversion. The value of the object is anchored to the fact that others are excluded from it. We aren't buying the physical object, we're buying the psychological certainty of a protected social position. When we look at the system as a whole, it becomes clear that this isn't just about jewelry or watches, it's a response to industrial success. Modern manufacturing has reached a point of absolute physical abundance, where we can stamp out high-quality, identical components by the millions. In this world, basic utility is a solved problem. When any factory can produce a functional equivalent, a product's physical performance is no longer enough to differentiate it. Because physical differentiation is disappearing, the market weaponizes pricing to invent artificial tiers of exclusivity. In an era of total manufacturing proficiency, premium pricing serves as a tool to re-establish the social hierarchies that mass abundance would otherwise dissolve. This architecture provides a systematic way to convert financial capital into social capital. The allure of the expensive is not a consumer failure. It is a predictable outcome of this design. It is our internal reliance on heuristics and status interacting with a market that was built to exploit them. The effect is not random, it is structural. Premium pricing functions as a core pillar of modern identity, providing the social signaling that a product's utility alone cannot achieve.